Welcome back to another video. This is the match preview, Aston Villa v Tottenham in the Premier League. 2 PM kickoff this Sunday. Tottenham really do need to win because we are pushing for that top 4 place, that Champions League place. It might even mean now that it will be top 5 that Tottenham do need after the news about Manchester City being banned from the Champions League for the next couple of seasons. I have teamed up with Aston Villa fan channel Jude's Journey. We have each asked each other 5 questions previewing this Aston Villa v Tottenham game. So here they are.
What's my overall opinion on Villa's season so far? At the moment we're currently sitting 17th in the table in a Carabao Cup final, and we've got more wins than Arsenal. I'm sure you'll like that one, Tottenham fans. So if you'd told me that at the start of the season, I'd have chopped your hands off for it. And to be in a Carabao Cup final is a brilliant achievement. However, we can't get carried away with that. We have to stay focused in the Premier League and try and get as many points as possible and try and win our home games. At the start of the season, it was very frustrating because we played a lot of top 6 sides and played very well against them. I think the home fixture at Tottenham, the first game of the season, was a prime example of that. We contained Tottenham for 80 minutes or so and just fell apart with the last 10 minutes due to your quality being a Premier League team. And you could see that we were adapting to that. We were still adapting to Premier League life. So it was very frustrating that we could possibly have more points on the board and have some very big wins against top sides like Liverpool, for example. But Liverpool are flying at the moment, aren't they? So my overall opinion on the season so far, it's great that we're in a Carabao Cup final. At the moment we're out of the relegation zone, but we've been in there a few times. But it's just so tight down there at the moment, so we'll have to see how it turns out.
So Jude's first question to me is, what have you made of Tottenham's season overall? There has been a lot of change at the club this season. Pochettino, Jose Mourinho and Christian Eriksen. Yes, you are totally right. It has been a very, very mixed season so far. We are in February. Of course, we've got 3 months left of the season. And I'm hoping as a Tottenham fan that we can make this or turn this into a good season. None of us expected Pochettino to go. I personally didn't want him to go. When he did go, I think that there was only one man for the job, Jose Mourinho, because Tottenham really do need a trophy. We haven't won a trophy since 2008. We haven't won an FA Cup since 1991. Far too long. But if Tottenham can deliver, or Jose Mourinho can deliver Tottenham a trophy this season, then I think that this season will go down as a successful one, because we've had some very mediocre results. Of course, lost to Colchester away in the League Cup. We lost 3-0 away at Brighton. Some of the results earlier on in the season, of course, the Champions League 7-2 home defeat. There has been some very dreadful results this season. But Jose Mourinho has come in. He seemed to have turned a few things around. He seemed to have got rid of some of the players that don't want to be at the club, and I think that's very, very important. The likes of Danny Rose going to Newcastle, I think, was a good move for both him and the club and the manager. Christian Eriksen, I was a big fan of Christian Eriksen, but he had to go because clearly he wanted another club, another challenge. He's got that, so good luck to him. But yeah, overall, I think that Tottenham are pushing for that top 4 place, or indeed top 5 now after the news that came out on Friday night about Manchester City being banned for the next 2 seasons in the Champions League. So if Tottenham do get that Champions League place this season, I think it will be a very successful season.
What have I made of Tottenham's season? Well, I think it's been a bit of a crazy one, to be honest. Poch leaving earlier on in the season, I think it divided a lot of fans. I think the fans could understand it, and some fans, loved Poch. And then you brought in Jose Mourinho, who I find it crazy that I'm still saying in 2020 that Jose Mourinho is a Tottenham Hotspur manager. That I'm still getting used to that. And in terms of the results that he's got you, At the moment, I still think it's a work in progress. You're a bit up and down at the moment in terms of league form, and you'll see this. I'm sure you'll see this as a great opportunity to come and win against Aston Villa. However, it's not going to be easy at all, because our home form is when we're at Villa Park, and the fans are behind us. The last couple of games we've been excellent. So my opinion on Spurs' season so far, still a work in progress under Jose Mourinho. I still think it would take time, but you've got a lot of deadwood out, which I think is, was needed to get Christian Eriksen out. He clearly didn't want to be there, so you got him out, shipped him out to Milan, and got Steven Bergwijn in. You've obviously got Steven Bergwijn in, who scored an excellent goal against Man City. Hopefully he's not in the best of form against Villa. And also as well, you've had Harry Kane being out injured, which will be a massive loss for not only for Tottenham but maybe for the nation as well when it comes to the Euros. So I think with the injuries you've got, you can understand maybe the frustration within the team. But Jose Mourinho is a trophy winner, isn't he? And still in the FA Cup, so maybe you'll go and win the FA Cup.
Jude's second question is, in terms of current league form, what have you made of it? Of course, that City win would have been massive, I suspect. Yes, that was a huge, huge win for Tottenham. And I think that that result could be the turning point in Tottenham's season to finish either in the top 4 or top 5 to get that Champions League place for next season. Without sounding cocky, for the last 4 seasons, Pochettino has guided us to Champions League football. We feel now that we are a Champions League club. Of course, we got to the Champions League final last season. So it's Champions League football that Tottenham fans want year in, year out. So we do want that next season. So the league form is very, very important. The Aston Villa away game is very, very important, because our next league game after the Aston Villa one is Chelsea away. So that could potentially put Tottenham back in the top 4. So yes, what have I made of the form earlier on in the season? It was very mediocre, as I said in the first answer. But now Jose Mourinho is here. He's got a few players in. He's shipped a few out. He's making his team his own. He's making his team play the style that he wants to play to get us over the line and win matches.
Super Jackie Grealish. He's that good of a player, no one wants to stop talking about him. There's been loads of speculation recently, whether about him going to Man United, about him going to Real Madrid, Barcelona, and of course Tottenham Hotspur over the recent few years. Now we do understand that at the end of last season, a couple of summers ago, that Jack Grealish did very nearly leave Villa. He came out and said he didn't know where he would be at the end of the transfer window. So I did think it was close in terms of him coming to Tottenham. Thankfully he stayed with us, and now he's captaining his boyhood club in the Premier League. Do I think it could happen? Well, there's a lot of teams, like I say, linked with him. I'm sure Tottenham will be one that's interested in him. But there's going to be a time where there'll be an Aston Villa without Jack Grealish. Whether that's the end of this season, whether that's the end of next season, I'm not sure. I think it all depends on where Villa finish in the league. If we go down, then I think Jack Grealish will be off. And there's still a possibility that he could be off after, even if we don't go down. But he's a Villa boy, and it'll be heartbreaking to see him leave Villa. But at some point he's going to have to leave. If he did go to Spurs, how do I think he'll fit in? I think he'll win you a lot of fouls. He's that type of player. He's a typical number 10, and he draws players of the opposition to him. And it'd be interesting to see how he links up with Son and Son and Harry Kane. It'd be interesting to see how he does with better players around him, and that's why I'm looking forward to seeing him, hopefully, in an England shirt, to see how he copes, with that pressure. Also, as well, there's another side to it that you could look at. Does he enjoy being the main man in Aston Villa's side? Because if he goes somewhere like Spurs, where you've got a lot of big players in and around the squad, he won't be the main man.
So Jude's third question is, you currently sit sixth, 4 points from top four. Are you hopeful that you can break through the likes of Sheffield United and Chelsea for that top four place? Yes, I've always remained confident, regardless of Mauricio Pochettino getting sacked and Jose Mourinho coming in. I've always, as a Tottenham fan, remained positive that we will get that top four place. I think that Tottenham do have more than enough quality throughout our squad, and of course the few additions as well. And Steven Bergwijn, we're all excited to see more of him. Of course, scored on his debut at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in that 2-0 win against Manchester City. But we do have more than enough quality to finish in the top four. So yes, that is exactly where I think Tottenham will finish this season, fourth.
Villa players that Spurs should look out for, well, it's quite obvious. We've just mentioned him. Jack Grealish, brilliant dribbler of the ball, draws so many fouls for Villa, wins Villa loads of free kicks. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Spurs men are in and around him when he gets on the ball. And also Matt Targett as well. I think the relationship, Jack Grealish will most likely play on the left wing with Matt Targett overlapping. And I think the partnership of Jack Grealish and Matty Targett is blossoming at the moment. And yeah, watch out for that partnership. Also Tyrone Mings at the back, a real leader at the back and reassures the defensive line. So you'll have to be on top form to get past Tyrone Mings. And also Ali Samatta with his second Premier League game. He scored against Bournemouth and was his first Premier League goal, so hopefully he can hit the ground running once again and get some more goals to his name at Aston Villa.
So Jude's third question, in your opinion, who are the players Villa should look out for? As I mentioned in the second answer, Steven Bergwijn looks a fantastic player. Of course, he's only played one game for us against Manchester City, made his debut at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in that 2-0 win, scored that fantastic goal, fantastic celebration and great scenes at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A great day that was. But every single Tottenham fan is hugely excited to see more of him. Heung-min Son is another one that Villa fans do need to look out for because not only has he got great skill, great pace, he can take defenders on and he can finish and score fantastic goals. So funny enough, those are the two players that I do think that will score. That leads me on to the score prediction that Jude has also asked for. And I'm going to go for a 2-0 Tottenham win.
Score predictions for the game. I think at the moment Villa need to try and get something from their home games. At least try and win their home games. And with Villa being at home, I think it is going to be an advantage. However, it's Tottenham Hotspur. They're in the top 6, and you know it's going to be very tough. You've got some very good players on your side. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I think you're not in the best of form at the moment, but the Man City win will kind of help you that little bit more. Give me a 1-1, I'll take it. It's a point against the top 6 side, and we can build on from there. Thank you for having me on the channel. Hopefully, you're not cheering come tomorrow.
Jude's next question is the Tottenham predicted lineup against Villa on Sunday. I'm going to go with Hugo Lloris in goal. That's pretty obvious. The back four, I'm going to go with Serge Aurier at right back. Davinson Sanchez in the centre with Toby Alderweireld. Left back, I think that a lot of us are expecting Tanganga to play. I personally think that Mourinho is going to be putting back in Ben Davies. Now, Ben Davies has only played one game under Mourinho. That was his first game. That was West Ham away when we won 3-2. And then he got that injury in that game. He's been injured ever since. I think that Mourinho does like Ben Davies. And I think for this game, I think that he will be putting Ben Davies in as left back. In midfield, Giovanni Lo Celso, Harry Winks and Dele Alli. And our attacking players, Heung-min Son, Lucas Moura and Steven Bergwijn. I hope you've enjoyed this preview video with Jude. Please do check out his channel, Jude's Journey. All of the links and details are in the comment section below. Please let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Score predictions, predicted lineups, etc. And do you think that Tottenham can reach the top 4 or the top 5 so we can get Champions League football next season? Come on, you Spurs.